This might sound very weird, but Genji is actually a surprise winner in the Season 5 balance patch, and no, I'm not talking about the ammo buff that he got. Let me show you what I mean. Let's start off with Mei, since it's an easy matchup to analyze. The damage nerf she received is massive, making her primary fire tickle her enemies in exchange for higher CC. This trade-off makes playing against Mei very boring with how severe the slow is, but overall less dangerous than before if she doesn't get follow-up from her team or if she can't explode the new frost effect. In both cases, Genji's deflect buys him a lot of time considering how safe he is while using it, so this version of Mei is honestly not much of a threat, only an annoyance that punishes bad play. Cassidy, on the other hand, received a nade rework that is seemingly a pure buff. Sure, the damage got nerfed, but his breakpoints don't actually change unless you consider a melee, which is pretty niche, so you're left with a homing missile that hacks and deals damage. Fun, isn't it? Mobile heroes hate it, but surprisingly, Genji doesn't. Why? It's actually quite simple. It's extremely easy to deflect. First, Cassidy has to throw his nade close to his targets. After that, the nade activates its homing property and starts chasing. This process is slow, making it extremely hard to land on a Genji that is ready to use deflect. But things don't stop there. Unlike before, the reworked nade actually works after being deflected, meaning that the Cassidy player has to be really careful when trying to use this ability, since otherwise he's gifting one of the strongest cooldowns in the game to an enemy that can easily capitalize on it. When you consider all of this, Genji's deflect becomes a really powerful tool that can be leveraged to play way more freely than before, as the only range where the nade might stick is extreme close range due to reaction time, at which point Genji should already be winning from achieving a perfect duo setup. Because of this, it's very important to be smart with your positioning so that you aren't forced to waste deflect before a crucial moment. So, does this mean that Cassidy gets countered by Genji now? Well, it depends on the context, as it always does in Overwatch. In a long to mid-range fight, the winner should always be Cassidy, so your goal as Genji should be to close the gap by using your superior mobility to set up for an engagement while avoiding poke damage. Classic dive stuff. If Cassidy is alone and within dash distance, committing to the duel is a totally valid play as long as you are confident and the risk to reward ratio is worth it. The nade is obviously dangerous, but make sure not to sleep on how good roll can be, since it can be used to create enough distance to cut a large amount of damage from your secondary fire, drastically changing the odds in the duel. Alright, now it's time to use this knowledge to farm all the cowboys in the ladder and become top 500 in an instant. Right? Wrong! Remember, it's Overwatch we're talking about, so what will the enemy players do once they see you get 2 kills with a character that gets memed on for being trashed by Blizzard balance? Yeah, that's right. If they can't have fun, neither can you. So it's time for
Allah till Mei!
And
Propaganda is useless!
As they shout,
Suffer as I have!
This is when Cassidy actually becomes a problem, since now the enemy team can make you shiver at the thought of getting close simply by holding hands together, since CC stacking and AoE heals are really fun mechanics, smiley face. Okay, does this mean that you should give up? Absolutely not. First, that would be admitting defeat without even trying. The main Genji is to walk a painful path, but it's well worth it once you beat those disgusting meta abusers and drink their tears in a cathartic moment of pure bliss. And if you always swap when you encounter a difficulty in your path, you are essentially telling yourself you are satisfied with staying mediocre forever. Second, your opponents might not be good at those counterpick heroes, so oftentimes all you have to do is be more precise on your plays, be that with your timing, mechanics, etc. And third, you have a team! If the enemy team is coordinating to shut you down, your team can work together to enable you with a strong team comp, resources, or other things. Hopefully. Thank you so much for watching, and big shout out to all of my lovely Poke tier patrons for the massive support. This truly wouldn't be possible without you. Mwah.